Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving into one of my favorite distilleries with a bottle that's shaped like a barrel. That's right, it's Peerless Double Oak Single Barrel Store Pick. This one happens to have a cool tater sticker from Tomar's Wine and Spirits, or Tomar's Liquors. Honestly, I forget. From New Jersey, for those that happen to be near that state, you know, New Jersey. Peer of the Dark, Iron Maiden reference. Says on the side, Tomar's Discount Liquors. Sorry for the name mispronunciation. You can tell they didn't give this to me for free, so the advertisement is subpar. But all jokes aside, Tomar's is a great store. They work a lot with the like Philadelphia Whiskey Society or whatever. I'm not part of that. I don't live near Philly, but they do. But great store. They got pretty fair prices on things, to be honest. And so anyway. Big shout out to my buddy Mike, who sent me a little text and said, you know, Bourbon Bill, I know you like Peerless. Tomar's is dropping this bad boy. So, my brother-in-law and I, we hauled ass on Saturday morning, bright and early, to New Jersey, to what we thought would be a long line. Turns out we were like 5th and 6th in line, with like 40-some minutes till open. So we didn't have to wait too long to get this. The line did eventually wrap around the side of the building, so it got to talk to a lot of cool people. This is about a month ago. It's late putting this up. Sorry, we're kind of busy moving. But as you can tell, I'm just draining through this with all the bottles I have. And I thought it would be fun to talk about a single barrel Peerless Double Oak Bourbon compared to the batched version. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. It's not written on this bottle anywhere, which is kind of disappointing. But I did hear that this was a 6-year-old and some odd month barrel. Most of the batch versions, which we'll compare in a second, are generally, you know, in that 4 to 5 range maybe. So this is older. So the store picks are older, for those that are wondering. Also darker in color. Look at that color. Look at it. It's like midnight black almost. We like it a lot. Now, fun fact here. Besides the fun tater sticker, you know, it does say single barrel here on the side, but also it sports a different label color. So here's my long emptied bottle of the batched Double Oak Bourbon, non-single barrel. See the difference in label color, folks? Keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, so this is a Double Oak. Now this was like 2022's batch version. Came in at 109.1 proof. Compute, 54.55%. Alcohol by volume. So, delicious. I reviewed this a long time ago. A++ rating on Bourbon Bill. My favorite Double Oak that I've ever owned a bottle of. Okay, there it is. Peerless Double Oak Bourbon. Delicious. I was smart enough to save a sample of this, so we'll compare it for you today, but this bottle is long gone. And then that brings us to the old single barrel Peerless Double Oak, coming in at 112.5. Compute 56.25%. Alcohol by volume. So a little bit hotter and darker. So forget, you know what we say on this channel, the darker the better. That's how we like our bourbon. So hey, if you don't know, Peerless is sweet mash, non-chill filtered, all the stuff's at barrel strength, low barrel entry proof. This is why even at a young age, it's delicious, and you should not accept cheap craft whiskey. Now, pricing, that bottle back there was like $90 hair, somewhere in that range. I believe this was like $120, $130, I forget. So, more expensive for the single barrel store pick. I get it. Price has also gone up. I think those are about $100 in 2023. So, you're paying a $20 to $30 premium for the store pick single barrel. Still cheaper than buying this at the distillery. So if you go to Kentucky, previously pretty much Kentucky at the distillery is the only place you can get these single barrels usually, and they're like $150. So this is still cheaper than doing that. And you got to drive to Kentucky if you don't live there already. So they don't do a lot of these single barrel store picks outside of Kentucky from my understanding. So if you happen to be near a store that does, make sure you pick one up. But let's give this a tasting, and I know you want to do the comparison, but we'll give this a tasting. Oh, that's the color we talk about and we dream about on this channel. Let's give it a nosing. Good Lord, that smells delicious. It's just like cherries for days. Oh my God, just a deep chocolate covered cherry. A cherry cordial from Christmas from your Grammy. Just the sweetest oak. This is not like a dry and woody. It doesn't smell like a Home Depot lumber yard. Okay, this is sweet and dessert like. It's just the oaks there. It's a very sweet oak and very chocolate cherry on top of that. There's some cinnamon there. A little bit of raisin, molasses. Probably, we'll say molasses. Wow. What a nose. Let's take a sip. Oh, good Lord, is that going to compete in top 10 of the year. Wow. Still going. The finish is still going. What a flavor monster. Tomar's, excellent job. It's cherry, it's chocolate. It's got like a very large cinnamon pop. Obviously oak. We're talking double oak. It is a sweeter oak. It's not as woody as I remember the batch version being. Still liked it. Very dark in profile. Then at the end, there's like a cigar box tobacco type note on the end that is really good. Listen, if oak and double oak isn't your jam, this ain't gonna be for you. Okay, this is for those that just love a wall of flavor. Okay, and deep dark flavors. This isn't for you like, I love light, crisp, bright bourbons. This ain't for you either, okay? If you like apple and citrus zest, stay the hell away. This ain't for you. This is deep, dark, and bold. So let's give that a quick comparison. Gotta find where I put that sample. In my own handwriting, we'll put it here in the gold. I won't do all of it because we might want to compare something else in the future. So as a reminder, this one was 109.1 and was the 2022 batch. Oh, it's different. It is different. This one smells drier on the nose. The oaks there, cherry completely missing. Oh yeah, the chocolate cherry is not here at all in the batch version, but it is on the single barrel. This one's got like cocoa, like a dried cocoa powder. A lot of that double oak note. There's cinnamon here as well. They're not worlds apart, but this one here is definitely sweeter with that chocolate covered cherry cordial thing going on. And the oak presents itself as sweeter here, where it comes off a little more drying here on the nose. Let's take a sip. Gosh, that was delicious. This is what I said. It's sweet though. It's got a lot of oak. Got that little bit of chocolate. It tries to get the molasses note, but it's not quite there. It's not as sweet overall as this one. This one is a step above. Step above. Well worth the $20 to $30 premium you're going to pay for this one. Well worth it. Tomar's, excellent job. Wow. A++ rating from Bourbon Bill tonight. Absolute must buy. Must back it up if you can. I don't know how many that they had of those. I mean, they sent it to a lot of their stores, and they didn't sell out all in one day. So there was some left a while ago. I don't know if there still is. I think some of these bottles are in an upcoming lottery or something. So if you have one, you know how good it is. My point tonight, though, is simply this. If you can find a single barrel Peerless Double Oak Bourbon. Likely it's a little bit older than the batch version. And depending on if you trust the store that picked it, it's a step above. So don't be afraid to pay a $20, $30 premium. Well worth it, for sure. Do I like the $130 price? No. Do I feel cheated at that price? No. No, I don't. Would I buy another one? Yes. That's how good it is. This is my jam, my flavor profile. If your palate's similar to mine, this is your jam too. If it's not, this isn't for you. That's all there is to it. Now, one last comparison, because that's not all on this channel. So with a different shade of brown, this one tends a little more diarrhea, if you will. This is a Double Oak Rye batch from 2023. So I had to stop myself because I had to save this for end of the year rye competitions. This 2023 is the first year that they're really releasing the Double Oak Rye outside of their distillery in Kentucky, if you will. So this is the first batch version. Previously, these were all single barrels. I like this over the batch bourbon that I had. So if you go back and watch my video review, I'll try to link it above. I prefer this over the batch bourbon. This is 110 proof, compute 55% alcohol by volume. This was like 110, 100. It was a little bit more. It was like 10, 20 bucks more than the bourbon. Put in the green here for rye. You know, I applaud Peerless. I love the bottle, you know, the barrel shape here. I love the cork. But, like, could you give us a different color? We have, like, reddish brown, brown, and darker brown. I mean, come on. Come on. Give us a nice green label for Peerless Double Oak. Alright, let's give the rye a nosing. Oh, man. Also A+ on the nose. So definitely the rye spice comes forward here, plus a wall of oak. This does tend... It's very dark, but there is a little bit of like a brighter note in here. Take note, all you young, bright lovers. I'm going to stop short of saying it's lemon. It's not really lemon. There's chocolate here as well. A heavy dose of the rye spice on here. Doesn't really come off evergreen or minty, but almost. It's almost there, but it's not quite. I still get the chocolate. It's like a marmalade note, but I can't quite place the fruit. Let's take a sip. Good Lord, another delicious pour. Rye spice takes front and center, followed by just a wall of oak and a little bit of cocoa powder in there, a little bit of cinnamon in the back end. Delicious pour, delicious pour. For being a bourbon guy, this beats the batch bourbon. It did before, it still does today. For being a bourbon channel, I gotta tell you, my rye collection is like double this year. I mean, there's just a lot of hitter ryes coming out this year that I'm digging. And I'm still way more cautious with ryes, but there's just a slew of heavy hitters this year. I tell you what, my collection is probably 50% rye at this point, which is crazy. I mean, we never would have been here 2 years ago. Okay, I don't think this beats the Tomar's pick, though. Here's our Tomar's single barrel pick of the Double Oak Bourbon. Nah, the Tomar's pick smells older, smells more expensive, smells like I'm opening my wallet and shelling out more cash for it. It's just a higher quality level than the batch versions here. Again, the chocolate cherry note and the sweetness of the oak elevates this above even the rye and the batch bourbon. Heaven help me. The flavors are deeper and more intense on the Tomar's, and that's what it's all about. I mean, we are on the hairy edge of double oaking here. And far to the right in the heavy category, and Peerless is just killing it. So, Tomar's, excellent job. You are now the best Peerless product I have ever tasted. In terms of color, I don't know if it's gonna come out in this video, but this Tomar's pick is darker than this. Darker than the bourbon. The extra age shines through. So the key takeaway here is this. If you find a single barrel and you can try it and you trust the store, absolutely buy it. It's better than the batch versions. Second takeaway from this is, in a few years, Peerless is going to be unstoppable as long as they up the age of their products. The batch versions are roughly 4. This at 6 is a whole different ballgame in terms of the depth of flavor and intensity and just extra complexity of flavors there as well. When this stuff hits 6, 7 years old for the batch stuff, look the hell out, everybody else, because Big Papa's come to play. So, if you like what we saw tonight, please like, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button, everyone. Thanks. Have a good evening.